in the realm of the skies, one group triumphs above all others. Birds, known for their euphonious calls and beautiful colors, fill our tropical rainforests with life as they fly in search for food and shelter. Unfortunately, these magnificent creatures have suffered greatly in recent years, with nearly half of them in decline today. In Malaysia, habitat loss from logging has drastically decreased birds' chances for survival. Trees that were potential nesting spots or provided shade from the sun are brutally cut down and removed to be used by humans. Without enough trees for shelter, birds begin to migrate to other forests, disrupting current ecosystems. The legality of logging and the lack of enforcement of illegal logging in Malaysia has caused habitat loss to be one of the biggest threats to their birds.
To make things worse, climate change has caused cooler climates to warm, and birds from lower montane forests move up in search of cooler habitats. This causes a conflict between lower and higher montane birds as they now have to compete for food, water, and land. Eventually, lowland bird species will dominate the habitats once owned by highland birds, causing dire consequences to the ecosystems. In addition, brutal poaching and smuggling of birds have drastically reduced certain bird populations. Poaching methods vary, serving various purposes for pet trade, food, or accidental captures. Beyond poaching, birds in the pet trade are smuggled out of Malaysia in cruel ways, drugged silent in containers and hidden from the sight of authorities. Many birds either overdose or suffocate to death.
Given the dire state of local birds in Malaysia, the Malaysian government has implemented many policies in attempts to protect the birds and their dwindling habitats. Yet, success is limited as the authorities are unable to detect and tackle every single case of illegal bird trade due to the large scale of these events, lack of manpower and funds. Relying heavily on tips that often lead to dead ends, it is difficult to clamp down on poachers, which are often part of syndicates. One poacher being arrested is just as easily replaced by the next. Moreover, the government is often conflicted between collecting short-term profits and protecting the environment. For instance, would this piece of land be better off as a palm oil plantation or as a habitat for the birds?
But there is still hope. Non-governmental organizations like EcoMy and MyCat are working towards uniting conservation, communities, and sustainable ecotourism. For instance, EcoMy hosts tours for bird watching and MyCat organizes treks in the forest to deter poachers while also having a reforestation program. They actively seek for members of the public to be involved in local community conservation projects, promoting tangible conservation efforts and increased awareness on bird conservation. Beyond this, EcoMy continues to push for the government's commitment to ecotourism over logging, as ecotourism is more sustainable in the long run and will protect the environment, including the birds.
But you may be wondering, as a member of the public, what can we do? We can play our part by speaking up against massive clearance of forests, be it through dialogues or online petitions. This saves habitats for birds by preventing habitat destruction and fragmentation. We can also help raise awareness by encouraging others to obtain pet birds sustainably, such as choosing birds bred in captivity. We have the advantage of the masses, and we should use that to protect our precious birds that are unable to speak up for themselves. With enough voices, we will be able to enact change that we can be proud of.